Now available in paperback and Kindle, All About Marilyn. Learn all about the struggles of a faded former teen sitcom star in this absolutely fabulous 5-star screenplay. Get All About Marilyn in paperback and Kindle on Amazon.com today. On Tuesday, a Manhattan judge dismissed a murder charge against Bodega worker Jose Alba, who had been charged with second-degree murder in the killing of Austin Simon on July 1st, when your Austin Simon went into the bodega to confront Jose Alba, who had allegedly snatched a bag of potato chips out of his girlfriend's daughter's hands because her EBT card had gotten declined. Now, in the aftermath of that EBT card being declined, the girlfriend then decided to go and get your Austin Simon to defend her honor after she was embarrassed by having the EBT card declined and having the bag of chips snatched away from her daughter. And your Austin Simon decided to go into the store and confront Jose Alba, and he decided to storm behind the counter and physically assault your Jose Alba, which was shown in a video, and continued to escalate his violence until Jose Alba took out a weapon and wound up stabbing him and taking his life. Now, the police wanted to prosecute your Jose Alba until there was a lot of outrage from New York's residents and who believed that this crime was unjust. And it was unjust to prosecute your Jose Alba for a crime because he was defending himself, because once this individual decided to jump behind the counter, that's when he was trespassing, and when he physically put hands on this older man, that's when this became a physical assault. And in order to defend himself, your Jose Alba took out the weapon behind the counter and defended himself, and sadly he took his life. Now, there are some pro-blacks out here who want to say that this trivializes black life in this Hispanic person getting the charges dropped against him, but I have to disagree with that argument, because when I take a critical look at this case, this has nothing to do with the race of your Jose Alba. No, it has to do with a person's right to self-defense. Now, many of the pro-blacks, they want to try to defend this black pathology as related to this Pookie, and they want to make it about the justice system not working right as related to a black person. But the big problem here with this black male, Austin Simon, this Pookie, was that he was not thinking critically about the situation, and he wasn't even thinking critically about his own safety or his own freedom. No, he was so caught up in his emotions that his white or Hispanic girlfriend had been slighted by this individual. He wasn't thinking about the fact that he already was on parole for a previous assault, and that this assault could possibly have sent him to prison had he lived to get through the assault he had perpetrated on Jose Alba. This man was so caught up in his feelings about his girlfriend that he was not thinking critically about more important things like his health, his safety, or his freedom. No, this Pookie was just caught up in trying to gain the respect of this female and trying to impress her by so-called defending her honor, because she had gotten embarrassed because her EBT card had gotten declined, and because he had been so emasculated, what he wanted to do was try to prove his manhood by trying to go out here and rough up this old man. And that really comes across as truly cowardly, because you're sitting here, you're a 35-year-old man, and you see an older man, and you want to go out here and assault this individual, all because your girlfriend got embarrassed inside of a store as related to an EBT card. No, you don't go out here and participate in this behavior, and you can't go out here and condone this behavior the way some pro-blacks are trying to do. They're trying to go out here, as the late David Carroll talked about, trying to go out here and excuse black pathology, because that's what we see right here with your Austin Simon. This was classic black pathology, and we have pro-blacks trying to make excuses for that pathology, and we can't sit here and make excuses for black folks who participate in behaviors that are completely out of pocket. No, if your EBT card gets declined, and I've seen this happen many times living here in the South Bronx, you just suck it up and accept it, and you just keep it moving. And if a bodega clerk goes out here and snatches a bag of chips out of a child's hand, and you're offended by that action, your response isn't to go get your Pookie and sick him on somebody like an attack dog. No, your response is to say that I'm going to keep my dignity and keep the dignity of my man by going out here and not shopping at that store ever again. This is how you go out here and protect your man. And this is why this woman really didn't care about this Pookie, because if she truly cared about this man, she would not have put her man in danger by going out here and going into histrionics and getting this Pookie all agitated and riled up, and then sending him out to attack like an attack dog. No, she wouldn't have done that to that man, because she would have gone out of her way to protect her man by saying, okay, we had an incident at the store where the EBT card got declined, and what we're going to do is not shop at that store ever again. That is how you take your respect from people like bodega owners. That's how you deal with a situation. Unfortunately, this woman didn't really care about this guy, because if she truly cared, again, about this guy, she would not have sent him out here on that kamikaze mission to take where he lost his life. Now, a lot of people don't really, again, understand how these women go out here and set guys up like this, but I've seen so many guys get set up like this ever since I was growing up in the 80s. And what would happen to these dudes is these females would go out here and get in some mess, and then they would talk about going out to get their man, and then once they went out here and got their man, he would go out here, call himself fighting for her, and what would happen to dude is either he would wind up dead, like the case of your Austin Simon, or he would wind up in prison where he would get spit roasted by Bubba and Tiny, and she would be back out here participating in some more ratchet behavior, all because this male didn't have any critical thinking skills. And in the case of your Austin Simon, he really didn't have good critical thinking skills, because he went and ran on emotion. And a lot of people, like pro-blacks, they want to, again, make excuses saying, oh, it's about the Hispanic guy. No, black man, you got to watch yourself out here. And black man, if you know you've got a record like an Austin Simon, you definitely have to watch your behavior, because you know that the 5-0 got a target on your back, and the 5-0 are waiting to bring you back to the penitentiary. Because if you're on parole like this dude, you cannot let your feelings get the better of you, because if you let your feelings get the better of you, you're the one who's going to be the one catching a case, and this female will be back out here with another dude and getting her back blown out while you're getting turned out by Bubba and Tiny. Now, again, people want to say that a lot of pro-blacks want to say that this case was unfair to black people, but your Austin Simon wasn't being fair to himself, because he knew that he already was on parole for a previous assault. He already knew that he had a record, and he went out here and still attacked this bodega owner. And this time, when he attacked this bodega owner, he wound up running into what I've seen in many bodegas, these guys got something under the counter for you, and that's what happened in this case. And he really didn't need to be, and again, the store owner didn't need to be prosecuted, because once he stepped behind the counter, that was trespassing, and once he put his hands on him, that was assault and battery. So once it reached that case, that's when it became self-defense. And that's something, when you go behind the counter and you cross the line, that's when you are putting yourself at risk. And that's what this Pookie did. And this had nothing to do with a black life, as I see it in this case, because it hadn't been anybody who jumped behind the counter and you start putting your hands on somebody and they got something for you. Yeah, you're going to get whatever's behind that counter because you crossed the line and you put hands on somebody. And that's that's the whole dangerous thing about stepping behind bodega counters or any counter. You don't know what they got behind that counter. So that's why you got to learn how to navigate through your feelings and learn how to deal with your emotions, because you can't let females get you so agitated that you're going to go out here and run on impulse to go confront whoever she told you did her dirty. No, what you do is you've got to think critically, because as a black man out here, you got to think this is your survival, because they already have a target on your back, and you don't want to make that target even wider by acting emotional and impulsive over something a female told you. And that's what happened here that sent your Austin Simon to the shadow realm. He went out here and got emotional. He went out here and got himself jammed up, all because he went out here and let a female push his buttons, and that female pushed his buttons and wound up pushing him into the shadow realm. And this guy who was charged with his murder by your Alvin Bragg, the judge wound up dropping the charges because there was no jury that was going to ever convict him. And there's no jury that was ever going to convict this man, because this man did absolutely nothing wrong. No, this Pookie was the one who got himself jammed up because he wound up getting emotional over females. And the lesson here, as related to your Austin Simon, is one every black man out here has to learn. And it was a lesson I learned back when I was 13 years old, and it's related to dealing with these bodegas, and is that you have to learn how to just be very careful in these places. And if these guys get disrespectful, you have the ultimate power, and that power is to vote with your wallet. And you vote with your wallet by not shopping there, and that'll have a major impact because they need your money. And the other thing you can do is go to other stores, because in places like Harlem and the South Bronx, there's practically a bodega on every corner. And if a guy isn't treating you right in one store, you can always go to another, or you can always step to a supermarket. You always have options, but the whole thing is many of these Pookies, they don't think about their options, and because they don't think about their options, what happens is they put themselves in dangerous situations like this dude put himself in, trying to defend the honor of a dishonorable female, and he wound up losing his life. And people who want to again try to make it like the bodega owner was the bad guy and it was about minorities using their influence. No, this was a basic case of common sense, because when a person comes to you and wants to and is assaulting you, you have a right to defend yourself, because you don't know if this person's got a weapon, and if he's going behind the counter to assault you, this could escalate, and you have to do whatever you can to defend yourself. So your Jose Alba is free, and this is the right case for this whole incident. He is free because he did nothing wrong. But as I see it, we've got to really, in the black community, deal with black pathology, and we've got to stop making excuses for Pookies that go out here and participate in dysfunctional behavior. No, we have to start educating these brothers out here to know how to move in these streets. And one of the ways that you have to learn how to move in the streets is you have to learn not to try to call yourself putting your hands on people as related to things as related to their business, like these foreign-owned stores. No, the way you fight back against individuals like this is by holding your dollars and taking your dollars elsewhere. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up some of my books on the SJS Direct imprint, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, and the books of the Spencerella trilogy, you can find all those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them on Smashwords, the iBook Store, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, All About Nikki, a fabulous first season. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air meets Clueless in this absolutely fabulous African-American 1990s teen sitcom. Get all 13 episodes of All About Nikki, the fabulous first season, in paperback and e-readers today.